Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Dropped Frames. There's no guest. Are you? My monitors deceive me, Zeke, because on one monitor you're see-through, and on other monitors, which is I think the proper monitor, you're not see-through. So I have no idea how that works. I have absolutely no idea how that works.
Yeah, no, I'm blending into the background slowly.
Yeah. I don't. You look fine though. You look great. You're doing great.
I look great. Oh,
Yeah.
thanks.
Yeah. You're doing great. What episode are we on?
Today is actually 4613.
Okay.
A very important number in history.
It is. This is the one where Zeke finally loses it, and we never see him again. We've actually gone back, me and Co, in time to make sure that Zeke doesn't lose it today. So he stays on the show.
There's no guarantees, but we've got some ideas.
Yeah. We've seen 14 million different versions of this, and this is the one where we can save them. So
it's like Groundhog's Day, but we're gonna give it our best. I think we got it this time.
Yeah, Doctor Strange helped. So, anyways, we got a lot of games to talk about, but as always, there's some Twitch news, which I feel like jumping straight into at the top of the show.
Hold on. Before we get to anything, is there any way you can just recorrect the chroma key? Because this is fucking bothering me.
Oh, you're perfect on air. It's only on the projected screen to you. Like on stream, you're fine.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah.
No, that's completely untrue. I'm looking at it right now.
I'm looking at it right now, and you're fine.
Our first attempt at him not going crazy has failed.
Yeah, no, this is already going bad.
Damn it, chat! Did you hear anything me and JP said?
Is that better? Because on my okay, on my screen you're fine. Now it looks bad, but whatever. If it looks good, it works for me. I think I went a little bit too far. Okay. That looks better-ish. Anyways, so this morning at 11:05, Twitch tweeted, "Don't mind us. We're just watching Will Ferrell say our name for the millionth time. The Saturday Night Live marathon starts tomorrow at 3 p.m. Pacific on /Twitch Presents." Huh. SNL is probably the last program I would think that they would ever have on Twitch Presents, but I wonder how much the powers that be at Twitch saw Will Ferrell say Twitch on air, and they just fucking immediately emailed SNL and says hey, we'd love to have you on our platform. I get is that the only way I could see that you guys could see that going down? It just seems such a bizarre connection.
Yeah, I'm not sure what prompted it.
It's weird.
Their money was involved.
Hold on.
Maybe.
Why am I not? Hold on. Twitch.
Are you not seeing it? I can paste it to you if you want. It's there. If you're looking for the tweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in Skype.
I do have to say though, the idea of watching old school classic SNL in a marathon is kind of awesome. I'm definitely one of those people in the boat where the older SNLs were like classic television, especially the Wonder Years of SNL with Farrell and Catan and the Ladies Man. Those are some really good years for SNL. So I got to admit, I'm kind of looking forward to tuning in and seeing those again.
Yeah, I wonder how far back they're gonna go. Because for me,
Chris Farley, Norm Macdonald.
Yeah, that for me the goal. I think every person has their golden age of SNL because it's been on air for so fucking long. But for me, it was the Opera Man with Sandler back in the day. We used to watch that shit.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
Those are great.
So I don't know.
Want to hear a funny story about about Chris Kattan?
Sure. Does it have to do with cocaine?
It does. Did I already tell the story?
No, I just kind of.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you've seen Chris Kattan, you know why JP would say that. So
I honestly thought that I was did I fucking already tell this story? Because I've told it a few times, but I don't know if I've ever told it on Drop Frames.
Yeah, I don't think.
No. He came to Billings on a touring a comedy tour basically. And my improv group was scheduled to open for him. And dude was fucking out of his mind, just drugged out, burnt out. He was using his iPad or his iPhone as the camera to and he was putting makeup underneath his nose because it was bad.
Jesus.
Yeah, and he did this stand-up thing that I'm sure somebody else wrote for him, and it was such a sad thing to see. It was really, really just like, this is what happens. This is what happens when you don't leave SNL and start making movies like immediately. This is what happens to you.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember when what was it Corky Romano? Was that his like big solo debut movie after SNL? The one where he like does a bunch of cocaine and says I should buy a boat? Because that's all I know of Chris Kattan. I don't know any other skit or line or anything from him except I should buy a boat.
Did. I guess he did try to do movies, and they were like his first outing or outings were not that great, and they kind of tanked.
He did Night at the
Whereas
Roxbury,
like
though.
Adam Sandler had like the opposite thing. Like his first two movies were pretty great, and then the first few movies were pretty great, and then the rest of them were just like hit and miss.
Yeah.
But Chris was like, I'm gonna do this great movie. Here we go. Pow! Jumps onto the scene doing movies, and everyone's like, this sucks, and we don't want to see you anymore. And he went, oh,
yeah.
And
now,
strangely
enough, I actually for the first time in a decade plus Google Chris Kattan. Okay, not only does he look a lot better, but he actually has shows coming up as of April 22nd. And he's like, so he's touring. He's actually doing stuff. But funny enough, his very top pin post from May 3rd is a book about SNL and his time on it. Oh. So it's kind of like, yeah, I guess that was kind of the explosion in the career.
That makes sense. Yeah.
I miss Mr. Peepers.
Oh, that's okay. I forgot he did Mr. Peepers. That's right.
Oh yeah.
That was part of his stand-up act too, telling stories about Mr. Peepers and doing that monkey monkey-like person.
Yeah.
And he was telling me that telling the audience that like The Rock like actually requested that sketch. He's like, I love Mr. Peepers. Let's do that. And so did Rosie O'Donnell. Rosie O'Donnell was like, I want Mr. Peepers. Like people like requested that shit. It was great.
Huh. I had no idea.
The Mr. Peepers rock sketch was one of the best. Like that sketch was incredible.
Yeah.
It was absolutely hilarious.
What see now I'm starting to think of like the old school stuff. What was Eddie Murphy's character on there? Buckwheat? Does that make sense? Yeah.
Yeah, Eddie Murphy.
Yeah. See, I hope they go back and at least show like an episode of like the old school with like Dan Aykroyd and all them and Steve Martin and all them on the show. But I don't know if that's going to resonate with like the audience that they're probably trying to go for here on Twitch when this airs tomorrow. We'll see.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if that would play.
Yeah.
With I think the audience that they would shoot for is the Will Ferrell audience, like right in like the late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah, which is it was a good era for sure.
Oh yeah,
we'll see. I'm just curious to see how also like the Twitchverse welcomes that or doesn't welcome that. Like, it's also always fun to see how the chat reacts in terms of like memeing on whatever they're watching that we've seen before with a lot of these Twitch Presents things. So we'll see. That I just saw that right before we started and thought that was a weird thing, but hey, they mentioned Twitch, so I guess they know what it is. And we'll just have to see how it goes. I don't think there's been any other really Twitch news. I know that they rolled out the latency thing to everyone, which I'm loving, by the way. I think it's great. Your brow is furrowed, Co. What? Not a fan?
I like the latency, but there seems to be some issues that have cropped up that after talking with Twitch, I don't even know if they're sure if it's related to latency issue or if it's just another issue on Twitch. And that is there's two separate issues. The first one is that a lot of people's browsers are snapping to things they don't set it on without them doing it. And the biggest issue is if you have a stream open and the stream starts in 1080, it will pop your browser in 720.
Really?
And at first I thought that was because of the latency, but then they told me that was a separate issue. However, there's a second issue where the streams will just get lower quality. They'll be blurry. And it's really tough to knock down. Does that have to do with this first thing, or is that something with low latency beta? And we have no way to tell. So, I'm a little hesitant. I might turn it off just because there's so many unknowns right now, and I really don't like seeing people frequently be like, "Why is the stream blurry? What's going on?" And I'm broadcasting at 6K. I can't broadcast. I can't send more data to Twitch.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I know that sometimes when I kick my stream live, and if people are already watching, the highest they can see is 720p 60 until they refresh. And I've been told that's
one of the bugs.
Okay, I've been told that was because when it first blips on, it's too much information being sent to the ingest server, and so it loads a lower bit rate, and then when they refresh, they could see the higher bit rate. The source, the 6000. Which made sense to me.
The weird
but
thing is, I've heard it's not doing that on streams that don't have lower latency in it. But see, I can't confirm that because even when I pop it off, like it's weird. It's weird. Oh, I'm sorry, 6K bit rate, not resolution.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when it says 6K, it's 6,000 kilobits per second.
Right.
You don't have a 6K monitor, you nubs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez. It's like a 4K with a 1440p on top, I guess is how that works.
Cut a 4K monitor in half, and you just stick one half on the side of your 4K, and it's good.
Yeah, exactly. That's how it works. That's actually.
Well, I don't need any of that shit. Like, the games I'm playing are in 360, like total.
Speaking of technical shit, I'm so excited, I'm so excited in the worst way possible because it's someone else's misery. Adam Coble bought an ROG Swift monitor, which is what I have, and he hooked it up last night. He was so excited. It's probably what Co has as well. He hooked it up and got so excited, and then at like 4 a.m., he messaged me and he goes, "Hey, how come whenever I go full screen, the games all go back to 1080p, but it's on a 1440p monitor, and like everything's blown up, and the mouse cursor isn't aligned to where it's actually out on screen?" I was like, "Oh my God, someone else has the same problem I do." So I got really excited because now I can have a buddy to help troubleshoot shit.
Well, it's because it's trying to copy because you have to go through if you're going through a capture card,
right?
It fucks it up because sometimes the capture card in the monitor, like you want them to be the same thing, so you're seeing what the audience is seeing.
Yeah.
But sometimes it don't work that way.
I said this the other day when I was just streaming by myself, but I'm actually gonna like figure out the problem and then make a bounty video, and whichever person solves it first, I'm going to give them something, because this has been plaguing me for like at least a year and a half. I formatted my PC and made sure that I could like start completely fresh, and the first 5 seconds of booting up a game, it immediately had the problem. So
that's the Asus ROG Swift PG279.
Yeah, the 165 hertz model.
Yeah, I haven't hooked mine up yet.
Oh, okay. Well, it's a Windows 10 issue. It's not a monitor issue.
Didn't you recommend that monitor to me?
Yeah, but it's a Windows 10 issue. It's not. This didn't happen till I bumped up to Windows 10. The second that I did, there was not giant. You can still run everything in full screen window and it works fine. You just can't play full screen, because then the FPS overlay and the cursor bumps up to like 200% DPI.
But Windows 10 makes everything easier.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm sure it does.
You can't be. You're lying then.
Yeah,
you have to be lying.
Because
Windows 10 makes things better. It doesn't update and then fuck up your entire audio and make you late for a stream because you have to figure out like, where did that audio source go that's always been there?
I already had some issues with that.
Let's find it.
Yeah, I saw Man also having some issues as well. I don't know if they were Windows 10 related or.
No, actually, the funny thing is they were not. He has the glitch fairy visit him from time to time.
It happens.
He didn't update. I updated, and it like as soon as I said like tweeted, I was like, "Sorry guys, stream's gonna be a bit late. Windows update, lost my audio source for blah 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 blah," and like immediately 10 people were like, "Yep, happened to me too. Yep, yep."
Yeah.
God damn.
Oh, wait, what happened when you updated? You just had audio sources disappear?
Yeah, basically,
yeah, deleted a lot of drivers, I think is what happens.
And that happens. I guess that happened too. Yeah. Mine was easier because my setup is like super simple. It's not very complicated at all. I just lost a source, which means the one thing about Windows 10 that it did made it kind of easy was if I am unplug it from the jack, the 3.5 jack in my PC and plug it back in, like the Realtek thing pops up and says, "Hey, what's this source?" And I was like, "This is the source you've been using for the past 2 years."
Yep. Yeah. Windows 10 is a motherfucker sometimes. Apparently it's happening to Lyric like right now. So he's having audio issues at this very moment. It's pretty prevalent. A lot of people in chat are saying like, "Oh, I've been on Windows 10 for X months and I haven't." You don't stream. So that's why we have issues, is because there's random pieces of hardware shoved into our PCs to make streaming possible. And sometimes Windows 10 just says, "Go fuck yourself." And it just doesn't work. So,
yep.
That's how it goes.
And you think like you want to, because someone said like, yeah, if you roll back the update, then you won't have problems. Like, well, yeah, but they're not going to roll back the update, so you better learn how to fucking work with it now.
Everyone's like, "Why aren't you using Windows 7?" And I go, "Well, they're not going to support Windows 7 in like 4 months. Like they've come out and said they're not pushing any security updates for it." And a lot of people don't realize those security updates actually help. Like those are good things to have on your PC, believe it or not. So that's why I haven't reverted yet, even though I really want to, so I can actually have like a 1440p full screen G-Sync experience. But I just haven't yet. I haven't. So
well, I think maybe Windows is kind of like the Star Trek movies. Yeah. Like every other one is good, and the ones in between are just shit.
That makes sense. The odd movies are always the bad ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Was there any other Twitch stuff? Let me just look real quick.
The front page is back to something. Well, it was. Now I just reloaded it and it's back to looking weird again.
Really?
Yeah, I went to the twitch.tv today, and not like any actual website, just Twitch TV. And they had like, kind of like the old school where they had the featured cast the whole big way. Pulse was gone and all that stuff. Yeah. Funny enough, I'm going to it now and it looks like Pulse is back.
Pulse is here for me. Yeah. I think they said when they announced,
when I loaded it earlier, it wasn't there.
I think when they said that, when they announced that they're phasing all that stuff out, is that it's going to be in intervals. So maybe just on specific loads, it's either there or it's not, and that's how they're.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's kind of interesting because when I saw it, I was actually going to comment on the fact that it looked a lot cleaner, because I felt like with Pulse that everything got super cluttered.
Oh,
it was just too much going on, and 2 different UI bars on the top and left. I mean, it was just kind of a mess. Yeah. And those were gone when I loaded the page. Like the only thing I had, I think, was the top bar, and then just a stream, and then 5 boxes under it, and like that was it. So, but now it looks like I have a top games thing and the Pulse thing, and just it's back to looking cluttered. So, I don't know what happened. That was weird.
I don't either.
Maybe I caught him at a test.
Yeah. I just popped open the blog.twitch.tv. Today, I guess, is the Stream On finale. Someone's winning Stream On today, which I wasn't aware.
How much is that worth again?
60,000 a year, 5,000 a month. A total of 60,000.
How many people are left?
3. So today's the final.
Who is it?
88-bit music, Bonsai Baby, and Wavy.
I think I met those guys at the St. Jude thing.
Yeah. Okay.
I think I met most of them. Pretty sure. I mean, all the ones that I met that were from Stream On, they're all super nice.
Yeah.
But that might be because they were on Stream On.
Yeah. You never really.
For people asking what Stream On is, Stream On was basically Twitch's version of the Intel Next Top Streamer contest. They basically took a whole bunch of streamers, except that, to Stream On's credit, they learned a lot from the Intel one.
Oh yeah.
Instead of picking streamers like all over the place, they picked like mostly growing and smaller streamers, and it was basically like a big contest for, what was it, 50K or something?
60K. Yeah.
60K. Yeah. So it's basically a contest to find a growing streamer that they then give 60K to then like be able to focus on streaming for a year, is the premise. So basically the idea is that the community will pick an up and coming streamer to give a year to get their stream kicked off. That was the idea.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool initiative.
I'm honestly kind of surprised Koibu wasn't in the top 3. He nailed the Intel competition. He gamed every single of those little challenges. Like, yeah, I'm surprised he didn't get further.
I haven't watched that much. I've only watched like the first 2 or 3 episodes, so I don't know what the challenges were. Because like I said, he was very good at the challenges there and was able to figure out how to exploit them in a positive use of that word.
He played everything within the rules, and he was probably one of the smallest channels in the Intel Top Next competition. And the only time he lost was when they made it a publicity battle.
Right.
That's the only one that, because there was no way he could have done that.
Yeah.
It was pretty lame.
I don't know how that happened. Maybe chat can correct me on this, but has like Twitch proper ever promoted this? Like twitter.com/Twitch. Have they ever promoted this thing?
They did at the beginning, but to be honest, I thought they canceled it because I just stopped seeing about it. They definitely promoted Stream On when they started the whole thing. But you know what another thing is? It got a lot quieter after they let the content team go. It got a lot quieter. So I'm guessing
it was right in the middle of the fucking Stream On competition, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of the people that were let go at that time were the people that probably would have been involved. I mean, a lot of them are still around, the hosts and stuff, but like that Stream On is Twitch content. That's what that team was making.
Yeah, so that was their project. Their big project.
I'm not really surprised that they probably want to cut down on the PR after that.
Yeah, that's a weird thing to not support like a giant part of your brand, you would think. But whatever.
I thought Stream On was going to be like a yearly thing. Like I thought that was going to be like, you know, like Twitch helping small streamers. Let's kick this off and do it, you know, and stuff. But
yeah,
I don't know.
So yeah,
can you please use the term smaller streamers and not just small? It's reductive.
I thought the approved term these days was growing streamer.
That's right. Damn it. Now I'm fucked up.
I thought the Twitch vernacular for it was affiliate. Is it not affiliate?
I'll walk you to HR after this and we can have a talk.
All right. That's good.
Yeah.
Just let me know.
So did you guys just in another bit of Twitch news, did you guys see like the whole in chat thing?
Yes, God, that was so fucking stupid.
It was hilarious. I loved it. God. I loved watching the back and forths on Twitter and shit like that about the in chat, about how like distracting it is that every would highlight everything.
I didn't realize that was a thing till I think it was last Thursday, the day after Drop Frames. Because I just saw it randomly happen in chat. And then I was like, so wait, if you just put in front of every word, then it's just a giant purple block in chat. And I was like, oh, why did I just say that on stream? Because then, of course, that's what happened for the entire day. Oh, yeah. And so then I just tweeted at Twitch using in front of every word that I tweeted.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it got fixed, I think, later that day or maybe the next day. They phased that out.
The thing that I didn't understand about it was when someone asked, like, was that a fuck up? And nope.
Yeah, they meant for that
on purpose.
Yeah.
I went, why though?
Yeah.
Like it wasn't even names in chat. It was at any word.
Yeah.
Any word.
There was no check to see if it was an actual person in chat. It was just any word, which.
Yeah.
I'm so lucky I never saw that. I'm so glad that just went right by me.
I was pretty harsh on stream, which I'm always pretty harsh on stuff like that. But I was exceptionally harsh on stream with that because it's just like to me, the only way that could ever get approved is if whoever put that in has never typed a thing in chat before. Because how else do you think that's a good, like, how do you not immediately see that it's exploitable to harass or just turn chat into a complete shit show within 5 seconds of implementing that? Because that's exactly what happened. I was like, oh, we just put any word here and then chat's just purple. And it's there you go. That's a bad thing. Like it took me 5 seconds. How come the person making that didn't realize it enough to push it live?
Dude, as some people that are very poignantly pointing out in chat, this is just another perfect example. We have been yelling at Twitch for years to improve the chat experience. Years. We have given hundreds of suggestions. I've sat in 30+ minute meetings telling them exactly what we want from Twitch chat. And what do? Put in something nobody asked for, defend it, and then turn it off.
Yep. Yeah. I mean,
what do we have to do?
Thankfully, it's gone now. But like, man, that was real stupid. It was real dumb. I don't know. That's not like you said, that's not a feature that anyone has ever asked for, ever. I've never heard a broadcaster be like, you know what would be cool is if when you're typing to someone and you just throw an ad in front of it, it's even more annoying now. You know what? That'd be cool. Maybe Twitch should do that.
What if the user had a highlighter and any word he wanted in his message, he could just just put a little highlight on it. Just as you know, how cool would that be?
Man.
John, lay off the weed. Shut up.
Yeah. That's like the ex-Facebook employee that's never seen Twitch before. And he's like, well, at Facebook, we added @ in front of everything. And people loved it. The grandmothers went crazy. So they bring it over here. And, yeah. That was a weird thing. I'm glad you brought that up because I had forgotten about that, Zeke, because they did away with it so quick.
Well, do you think it's a matter of them having so many people like in the production area or the whatever it's called? Production is not probably the right word, but the idea creators or whatever like that.
Product team.
Whatever team it is.
Yeah.
Do you think they have just so many people doing that it's just
too many cooks?
They got too many ideas and they want to like implement all of them, and it's just maybe delegation of people is not in the right areas.
Here's the thing, though. We've been having slight issues like this since before Amazon. So before Amazon was there was already kind of a too many cooks situation because, there were people that wanted things, but they didn't know what they wanted, and then they produced things. And now you have Amazon here. So on top of that, you also have somebody in the background that after every time someone suggests something, they goes, how's this going to make us money? And that just adds an entire another perspective on all of these things.
Right.
So, I mean, these days, like as we've seen with Pulse is a perfect example. Like that just went off the rails, full development. Who knows how many thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars that was pulled into. And then eventually someone just decided, you know what, this isn't good anymore. We're pulling it.
Yeah.
And it's like, think if all of that money and time went into stuff that we had actually asked for. It's mind-blowing. And there's tons of other features like that.
Yeah.
The messaging system just got turned off. They never remade it. The chat system still hasn't been touched. There's you just go down all the systems and you can see where this keeps affecting it over and over and over and over. So
yeah, I think to me from the outside looking in, the only thing I can think of is that there's someone, either there is and they're just not listening to them, or there isn't someone saying, hey, this is a bad idea because of X, Y, and Z. It sounds like a lot of yes men kind of down the chain. Where they're just like, oh, yeah, no, that works. That's great. I don't use the site, but yeah, let's go and throw that in there. It's kind of how I feel that conversation goes. So I don't know how you fix that either, because the only way that you can actually get like meaningful updates is when you talk to broadcasters nonstop and you reach out and actually get people to use the site, or you actually like use the site constantly and daily to actually be like breathing and living in that ecosystem to really understand what's needed and what's not. And that's a weird thing to like. It sounds so simple to be like, of course the people working on the platform should be using the platform, but sometimes you just can't. Like sometimes you never get to see the live side of the platform, and you're always kind of behind the scenes. So it's a weird thing, but they need. Well,
and also like it's growing it's growing faster than people. It's growing faster than experts in this area or even people familiar with this shit can keep up, as far as hiring people to do like advertising and that kind of shit. Like they're having to hire people who have done other like media platforms, television, radio, that kind of shit, in order to fill these slots that have no idea about Twitch, and they have to learn like on the job. So I'm sure there's a lot of that going on, where they have to hire people that have experience, but not experience with our thing. And I say our thing meaning Twitch.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, I don't want to just bash the platform nonstop, and also, but it comes from a place of passion.
There's some stuff going on in chat. First of all, we just need to be clear. Like especially the stuff I say, we're all just guessing and commenting on this stuff.
Yeah.
None of us actually know what's going on at Twitch or what they're deciding. And also, for the record, I think we should point this out. We're hard on Twitch because we love Twitch.
Yeah.
This is our entire life is Twitch. We're not sitting here just bashing Twitch. We're talking about this stuff because we want it to change to become a more positive experience for everyone, including us and you. So this isn't like, these aren't bash Twitch sessions. These are, how can we make Twitch awesome for all of us? Let's talk about the problems, then we can talk about the solutions, and all that good stuff. So yeah.
Well, and that's the only way
new people.
It's the only way shit gets fixed is if we talk about shit we don't like.
Right.
Like, if we never talked about, if we were just like, yeah, I'm not going to talk about anything I don't like. I'll just, put up with it being shitty. I was like, that's the only way shit gets talked about and fixed and whatnot. And also, I think all of us here on this show, like, are fully willing to admit, like, maybe the shit that we ask for is not like fucking feasible, like, yet. Like that whole that emote thing that you were talking about last week, where it's like it's built into some like ground level shit in the program.
Casters more than 50 emotes. That's one of the reasons it hasn't happened. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like that, and that like the cumulative subs thing. I'm sure if it was just like a fucking switch, they would have turned on the cumulative subs at least to try it. Or there's other things that we don't know about it, like they're gonna lose money if they do cumulative subs, like a lot of money, which I'm sure they will.
Yeah, I would think so. The other thing is the three of us know that a lot of Twitch people watch this show. And so instead of having a meeting where we sit down with them, we just talk about it on the show because we know it gets those ears.
Not only do we know Twitch watches this show, but we also know that Twitch reads chat. Twitch, they will come in here, they will talk in chat, they will read what you guys are saying about what we're saying, because that's the feedback that they're looking for. So yeah, it's good. It's good to have these discussions. And more importantly, it's good when you guys have ideas that you say stuff in chat too.
Yeah.
Also,
they're watching.
So
be careful, chat. Don't fuck up. Just be good.
I hope John Twitch watches this.
I don't know. John Twitch is kind of busy. He
I
is
wonder
the
if he
face
knows
of Twitch.
I wonder if he knows Bezos personally. I bet they go to like have brunch.
They're probably golfing buddies, I would say.
Think?
Yeah.
Private jet buddies.
Yeah. So
they do private jet races.
This is completely off topic. Did you see Neil deGrasse Tyson? That's his name, right?
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah. He tweeted Jeff Bezos's, if you lined up all of the money in like $100 bills of Jeff Bezos, you could go like around the earth 8 times, all the way to the moon, circle the moon, come back and circle the earth 2 more times or some shit like that.
Oh yeah, no, I definitely saw that tweet.
Yeah, I thought that it was like 130 billion or some shit. I don't know. It was a crazy fucking tweet to read. I'll try to find that.
It's just DeGrasse. I know his name makes it look like he's Italian. You want to be like DeGrasse or something. No, but it's just DeGrasse. Like that's how he says it. DeGrasse.
Gotcha.
No, I like the way Fury pronounced it. DeGreasy. Neil deGrasse Tyson or
Fury.
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Who's Fury?
Just in the chat, Fury GW. In the chat.
I thought you were saying like Nick Fury or something from the Avengers. I was like, what the fuck?
Wait a minute. Is he gonna be in the new Marvel movie? Neil deGrasse,
I was like, what are you
Neil
talking
deGrasse
about?
Tucson is gonna be in the new Marvel movie? Yeah.
Anyways, we should probably
be Astro Man.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, that's him. We should probably talk about video games since we're 35 minutes in. That was actually one of the things that me and Co, we have to talk about video games with Zeke before 35 minutes passes, or he goes, it happens. So we got
we don't want it. We don't want it to happen.
We're 3 seconds late, Co. It just turned. We missed it.
All right, well, we can try again.
Sorry.
Where do we want to begin? We got State of Decay 2 came out this week.
I know exactly where we can begin on game.
X-Files.
Stalker 2 has been announced.
Yeah, for 2021, like that.
That's just means 3 years to get hyped for it.
Is it just me, or does that feel like that's in like this fucking far distant future where we're gonna have flying cars?
Might as well be on another planet, but it doesn't matter. It's still the fact that it's under production, like it's being made. People from the original team are there. I oh my god.
I'm fading. No, we didn't talk about it in time.
Uh-oh.
No, I'm fading. No, remember me.
He's gone.
Sorry.
It happened. That's it. That's all. That's stalker2.com. That's all I put.
Yeah. Yep. That's it.
I thought so. What was that second Stalker game that came out? Was that
there was Shadows of Chernobyl, Clear Sky, Fall of Pripyat. Those are the art.
Okay.
And then the company took the IP, and I use that term very loosely, and they made this thing called Servarium, which is an online multiplayer loot box shooter that never really took off the ground and was pretty pay to win. And the thing that everyone was very worried about was that was just going to be the rest of the Stalker franchise. They were just going to like piece it off into little pay to win or mobile games or something. But sure enough, it looks like they're back in action, and they're planning on making an actual successor. But again, this raises I played through the Stalker franchise 4 times. Actually probably like 6 or 7, but I've streamed it 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
And there are so many questions about Stalker 2. So many questions, because there's a lot of finality in the series, and there's a lot of different directions they could go with it. And it's just, it's oh man, there's so many questions about Stalker 2. I can't wait for any information on it. It's gonna be good.
I think this is my favorite thing I've ever done in a search field on Drop Frames was type in co-Stalker and come up with gameplay. I had gameplay of Stalker right away, so there you go. Yeah, it's coming out 2021.
It wasn't a picture of my mugshot?
No, I'm actually curious if I'm gonna go figure out what else is in that. We don't need to see gameplay of Stalker. Let's see.
No, trust me, I've scoured everything. There is not a morsel of more information.
Oh,
they
okay.
Literally, like when the announcement was not even an announcement. The guy, one of the producers, just posted the URL stalker2.com, and then like there was a confirmation at GDC and stuff like that. But they are being extremely tight-lipped. And yeah, trust me that if the second there's more information, you will hear it on the next episode of Drop Frames.
Okay.
I never thought there would be another Stalker. I have literally tried to track down the IP to purchase it.
I remember that. I remember you saying that.
Yeah, I was trying to get the Stalker IP for months actually, so I could try to find a home to make another one. But so this is all fantastic. This is fantastic.
I remember that. We can continue on the news since we kind of started out there. Shenmue 3 just got delayed to 2019. The 5 people that care are very upset about that.
There are a lot of people that care, and they put up lots of money for it.
That's right.
And Metro got delayed too.
Yeah. How much money was that? How much money did that Kickstarter do? Didn't it do like $1 million before E3 ended or something like that?
It did $1 million in like the first 24 hours or something.
Yeah. Very successful.
I'm gonna pull that up.
There's a lot of Shenmue fans, dude. Shenmue's a very unique game. There's a surprising amount of Shenmue fans.
Those are probably the same people that thought Rage 1 was a good game. You know what I'm saying?
It's rose-colored glasses, man. You always look back with rose-colored glasses. I mean, some things hold up and some things don't. But you go back and you play some of the games, you're like, man, I love that. And then you go back and you're like, this is shit. Why did I like it so? Why did I remember it so well?
Yeah. You know what looks good, though, is Rage 2. That trailer, they did a hell of a job with that trailer that came out. Even if they were forced by Walmart, of all people, probably, to get that posted because of all the leaks that we talked about last week on the show.
They actually plan to do that regardless.
Oh, okay. All right.
According to Pete.
Well, they could say whatever they could say.
As you guys. Yeah. There was a little. They were going to do it pretty soon, but I think they bumped it up just a little bit. But it was all like.
I mean,
I gotta say this though. Talking about the trailers, total hit and miss for me.
Really?
Total.
Well, it looks like to me it looks like the trailer was made by like an old dude who had a kid that's like, like 16.
Oh, you're talking about the live action. No, the live action trailer was dog shit. The gameplay trailer was fucking great. This looks so much better.
Dude, I'm talking about the live action.
Yeah,
for sure.
Now, have you seen the gameplay one yet, Zeke?
No, I don't think I have then. I've only seen the one.
Here.
I've only seen the one with like real actors.
Yeah, that was a point. I didn't even watch it. This looks fantastic though. And there's Andrew WK playing in the background. But yeah, I'm on board. It looks super fun. And then when I read,
what was Rage about? What was the premise of Rage?
Couldn't tell you.
Rage was a dystopian game where you were basically like trying to figure out what happened in this sci-fi world gone awry, essentially. And the problem with the original Rage was that the game had a whole lot of potential, and there were some really lofty, ambitious goals for it that during production they kind of pared down into this not so great experience. They also decided to basically just like cut the ending, which frustrated a lot of people. And if you play it and you get all the way to the end, you know what I'm talking about when I say they cut the ending. It ended a lot quicker than it probably should have. And but the thing is, here's the thing about Rage 1. People that followed it, and this is one of the reasons I think that it has like such a little cult classic feel. The people that followed it during production, there was a lot of stuff that was supposed to be in it that just didn't make it. And like there's entire zones of Rage 1 that are just empty because there was supposed to be stuff there. Like the driving mechanic was supposed to have so much more to do. There's supposed to be more organic elements, and it was supposed to drive around and feel like kind of alive and stuff. None of that basically made it into the game. And it became this almost like empty museum of walking between these locations. And then it just ends. So
yeah,
there were some cool parts to it, including John Goodman. Oh my God.
Oh, that's right. He was in that game. I forgot about that.
John Goodman was so good. And there are good parts of it and parts to it. But, you know, lost potential is the key word for Rage 1. It just didn't quite make it.
Yeah. Yeah. As soon as I heard that the people that made Just Cause and the people that made the newest Doom were working together on a game, and then I saw that trailer, it's like, all right, no, I'll play this. That looks like a good time. That looks like there's going to be a lot of exploding bodies and probably good gameplay because I think it's made on the same engine as the latest Doom, the newest Doom. So I'm on board. And it actually looks like do what?
They got the resources now.
Yeah.
Like, this is two very heavy hitters we have behind this project, and there's, you know, a pretty good following, even though the first one wasn't that great. Good amount of hype. I mean, I'm looking forward to it, man.
Yeah.
I gotta say, that story trailer though, the only thing that's a little bit concerning is I feel like they're either trying to go super Mad Maxy with it or super Borderlandsy with it. Like they're going that kind of fun rebel angle, you know, like and Rage 1 was not really about that. It was more kind of, I mean, it sort of was a little, but definitely not to the degree of Rage 2.
There's a lot of car
I hope
stuff,
it's not just
right?
so over the top, corny, and like trying to be funny that it gets kind of lost. You know, we'll see.
There was a lot of car stuff right in the first Rage.
Yeah.
Okay.
The car mechanic was pretty central.
Yeah. We're gonna say Zeke.
It kind of reminds me of that Rick and Morty episode where they were kind of like making fun of the trope. It's like, shoot the guy with the mohawk. Which one? They all have mohawks. You know, it's definitely a little bit of that. Like, do they all have mohawks? Yeah. Do they wear like football pads with like spikes on them, like Legion of Doom? Yeah, a lot of them do. Sure. How about a hockey mask that's kind of like got like a skull painted on it? You'll probably see that.
Yeah. So the two things I thought, first off, was like, this looks pretty fun. I want to play this. The second thing I thought is, if they're showing this before E3, what the fuck do they have to show at E3? Like, if they could show something, I guess, technically as big as like Rage 2, what do they have in store for us in June at E3? Because they have to have, if you look at last year's E3 conference, it's probably like one of the biggest disappointments, I think, in the E3 press conference sphere. I wonder what the fuck they have in store for us.
They had to, and I think Pete Hines tweeted this. They have so much stuff for this year's E3. They had to, Bethesda showcases in 1 month. I'm starting to get excited. We have a lot to show you. This might be our longest E3 showcase ever. Not sure, but it's packed. So, like last year, it was nearly devoid of content. What was it? Some guy broke down the percentages of like what was actually on the screen during it, and it was only like low 20s of actual new gameplay or anything. So this year, I mean, they knew they messed up last year. There were big names at Bethesda that tweeted out, you know, things that said like, hey, we know, you know, and there were a couple excuses that came out and stuff like that. So I'm cautiously optimistic. Hopefully they'll make up some ground. Because again, they went from having like the top performance by far a few years ago.
Yep, with Fallout 4 and Doom.
Bounds above every single other showcase to what the hell did I just watch? Why did I stay up for this? Like they went down hard over the last few years.
Well, I think last year was what like professional sports teams would call a rebuilding year.
Well, they don't have a conference, right? Like that's I think that they felt like they had to deliver on a conference after they kind of started this weekend conference thing. And last year they just shouldn't. They shouldn't have at least streamed it and made a big deal about it because they didn't really. It was just.
They didn't have to have a conference last year. Yeah. I agree. They could have skipped E3 and it wouldn't have been a big deal.
Yeah, it was bad. But I don't know. I don't know what other platform they can announce Skyrim on. So we'll just have to see what they have in store. I guess cell phones, iOS, although it might already be on iOS. I haven't been following where Skyrim's at. Yeah, I hope we get to see some cool stuff. If they're already announcing Rage 2, then I hope we get to see some cool stuff for sure. What else was Cliffy B's studio, Boss Key, is done. They're calling it quits. He shut up shop, closed it, barred the doors.
Yeah.
Somebody linked me a clip. I don't have it, of one of our earlier Drop Frames episodes.
Yeah.
And we like, it's basically us going like, there's no way that this company's going to make it with Lawbreakers. And it was like 2.5 years ago.
Jesus.
And it's basically us just being like, no matter how well this game does or how perfect it is, it's too late. Like, if it's funny because we list a couple of the reasons that he actually put in his thing. Like, it's too late. It's not going to gain traction. There's too much money into it for how much it's going to make. And yeah, I mean, I think I speak for almost everyone when I say we kind of all saw this coming.
Yeah.
Like, this was not a surprise to anyone, especially with Radical Heights and how quickly they pushed that out and how much they cannibalized from other things to make it just like, that was clearly a last ditch effort.
Yep.
This is kind of interesting though. I didn't know that they had a medieval punk game in development. Did you guys hear about this?
I think a lot of those were
giant dog things.
I think a lot of those were rejected ideas at the studio.
Were they?
Yeah. Cliffy was tweeting a lot of that stuff. There's also one called Dragonflies, which was like it was kind of like Monster Hunter-y, where you like raise a dragon, you hunt monsters and PvE content. They showed a bunch of he showed a bunch of concept art for that. Look, I'd kind of be into it concept art wise.
The sad part about it though, about Boss Key, Lawbreakers is a damn good game. It runs well. It's optimized. The graphics are beautiful. It's relatively well, just like some people in chat are saying, I really hope that all those people kind of get situated quickly in other jobs, because it was not a development issue. It wasn't a company issue. It was a direction from the top issue. It was the people working being told what to do. Yeah. That's why they failed, not really the game or anything in it. So hopefully all those devs and everyone involved in making it find a home quickly.
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree with that. And I hope that we get to see more. Cliffy, I think, tweeted that he's taking a break from development for a while, but I hope he comes back, just because I'm always interested in, and I hope he actually gets the money and gets the people to actually take a risk, not to make an Overwatch clone.
Well, we can't call it a clone when it started before Overwatch.
Did it? Maybe you might be right.
I think Lawbreakers was before Overwatch, if I'm not mistaken. Let me actually check that.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure.
Chat's saying it was before Overwatch. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, if you are, I'll have to double check.
Yeah, we're mixed there. But yeah, I just want more like big AAA chances, risk in games. So we just see more stuff like that. Because I feel like God of War was a risk. And then they developed it for 5 years that it turned out fucking phenomenal. So I just want to see more of that stuff for sure. But it sucks whenever a studio like that closes down. It also sucks when they announce a game that has a bunch of monetization in it before textures are actually added in, and then they shut down like 3 months later to try to jump on the BR.
That was very telling.
Yeah, man. What a weird thing that is. Someone from, I don't know where this quote is. It says, according to Gearbox, but they came out and said that there is no Borderlands 3 at E3 this year.
Yeah. You know why? It was the main guy. One of the, I read he has a 6-tweet.
Was it? Oh, Randy Pitchford? Is that who it was?
Yes. Okay. Where he basically talks about like one of the popular magicians and about how, no matter what people say for you not to expect, people will still expect it. And it's basically this very long-winded, there won't be Borderlands at E3.
Huh.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
I think
it's for those wondering, he's at Duval Magic for those that want to read it.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and post his Twitter in chat for anyone that wants to read it.
Yep. I don't think there was really in chat. Feel free to throw stories into the snippets into the chat, but
I'm sorry.
What are you laughing at?
I have honestly been reading I've been on Cliffy B's Twitter, and I was reading this fucking message that was sent to him. I'm guessing it was in like because the name is in Cyrillic, I believe. So I think it's from somebody from Russia. But
please don't read the message verbatim. I don't want to.
No, I won't read the message verbatim. But like, it's just a string of just awful swears, like slung at Clippy.
I saw that.
And one of them, where is the one that I loved? Furthermore, just diarrhea. Just diarrhea from fucked onions.
What?
Just look at Clippy B's fucking. Just go to the media.
I didn't get that far
on his Twitter.
I read like the first 5 or 6 words. I was like, oh, okay. I don't need to read this.
It's no, I mean it's all the bad words you could possibly think of, but in such a strange order sometimes that it kind of there's some humor in there for sure.
Yeah, he got a lot of hate on the internet. It's not that rare, but he got a lot, and maybe he was just blowing it up by retweeting and stuff like that. But there was a lot of like crazy hate thrown at him when he announced that the studio was closing on Twitter. He even like you said, he retweeted and acknowledged some of it. That was kind of weird. There was another story. I haven't read too much into this. Microsoft's new Xbox controller designed for accessibility leaks ahead of the reveal. Have you guys seen this stuff? This controller looks very weird. This is coming from windowscentral.com. I guess it's
the one with the huge, like the 2 huge things. Yeah.
What the shit?
Yeah, I don't know.
It looks like a really messed up, out of proportion original Nintendo controller.
Right.
Yeah.
I wonder.
Is those a button or a pad?
I don't know.
Those are both buttons. If you zoom in, you see like A and B. Underneath it.
I guess I can do this. That's as far as I can go. Yeah. There's 2 buttons there. That would be a weird thing to show like at a conference though.
Chad is saying it's specifically for disabled players.
Yeah, that's
what accessibility, right?
Yeah, it's accessibility.
Hold on. So this wouldn't be like the standard controller. This would be one they could get?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
For accessibility. Cool. Yeah.
Awesome then.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying this was going to be like the new controller for the new system.
What the fuck do you think?
No, okay. I imagine for people with like cerebral palsy who like their muscles are all tightened up, so they can actually hit buttons. You know,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
No,
that's
awesome.
Like Josh Blue.
Yeah. I think that's great.
It seems like they're missing a lot of buttons on there for normal Xbox controllers, aren't they?
I would assume so. Yeah, I guess you got the triggers and the RB and LB on it. And then you're missing 2 face buttons, but yeah. Yeah.
That's cool though. Good for Microsoft, man.
Yeah. I'm just curious if that didn't leak, and maybe it'll still show up somewhere because they have to probably talk about it in some capacity, but does that show up at a conference? Like, that'd be an odd thing.
They can do that at a showcase, just like a 30-second kind of thing.
That'd be a weird thing that to pop up during like Microsoft's big E3 conference. But I don't know. We'll see. I don't think there was any other news that you guys saw. Do you want to bring up?
Battlefield 5 got leaked by Trevor Noah or something.
Wait, really?
Or an announcement got leaked. Let me see if I can find more information on that.
What?
I saw it on Twitter. He was like giving an interview or something, and maybe someone in chat can give more info.
Oh man,
if I can find it.
I just got really excited thinking about what EA is going to do in terms of like bringing back Snoop Dogg and shit this year for whatever big game they're going to show. Because they always bring in the celebrities to play after they announce the new game.
And not to disparage Snoop Dogg because, you know, DOWG is like...
Sure.
I love that man.
Yeah.
But his relevance with the kiddies is dipping. Is dipping pretty hard.
Yeah. Yeah. I think he's
like right about now.
Did you ever see him? He was doing a show with UFC where he was with Uriah Faber, and they would smoke weed and get drunk and commentate UFC matches in real time as they were happening on, I think it was like The Ultimate Fighter. And it was like a special broadcast that you could turn into. That was fucking bizarre. If you want to see that really weird thing, go watch Snoop Dogg and Uriah Faber commentating on UFC matches while drunk and or stoned.
Oh shit. Battlefield 5, the @Battlefield
Twitter.
Twitter.
I'm seeing that now.
55 minutes ago. Yep.
Yeah. They had already come out and said.
Rumors are true. Rumors that I started, but still, I will be hosting the Battlefield Live reveal on May 23rd. Catch it live streaming on the Battlefield YouTube.
Huh. Now, do you think?
Cool.
So EA's always done these big multiplayer showcases. Do you think that they show the BR mode and not the normal Battlefield mode there? Because it was hinted that there's a BR mode for Battlefield. It was rumored, I guess, is what the better term for that.
It's interesting because I wonder, and this is a question. I don't have a good any insight on this. I wonder what the traditional Battlefield community, which is a very strong, very large community.
Yeah.
I wonder how they're going to feel when the Battlefield devs start kind of putting BR in front of them. Are they going to like it and be like, "This is great," or are they going to be like, "What the are you guys doing?" Like,
right.
I don't know the answer to that.
I also wonder, in the grand scheme of BRs, how well a $60 BR game would do. Because like Fortnite's free, Battlegrounds is what, $30, and H1Z1 is like $20 or $30. Like there's always been if there's a buy-in, it's not been a full price game. So I really wonder how that would. If they would break it off into its own game where you could just buy into the BR aspect or play it for free. Then if you buy it, you get access to everything else. I don't know. That'll be interesting. Oh, H1Z1's free now. Okay. You had to buy into it initially, though.
So that's still so funny. I can't believe that.
What, with H1Z1?
H1Z1, it's like, we promise this game will be free. Just kidding, you have to buy it. No, we're kidding. It's free again.
You know what's even funnier? Is that they're streaming the H1Z1 League on Facebook. That's where that lives.
Yeah.
And like
after
Tim,
letting go, right? That develops it.
It's like Tim and Summit and a bunch of broadcasters are like on those streams, which is, I mean, sure, why not? But yeah, it's a weird thing for sure.
Oh.
I saw them at like the H1Z1. I don't even know, some event in Vegas, and they were all streaming on Facebook. It's a weird thing.
The thing with Facebook, and one of the reasons I actually heard that Facebook's kind of lucrative for people these days, Facebook can basically just give anyone they want views. They just insert the stream into people's, like little sidebars and stuff to get views.
Yeah.
So they can basically just decide how many views they want on the streams they have, because they've got millions and millions and millions of people that log in all the time.
They must be deciding to keep it low, because I haven't seen anything above 10K. It's been kind of sparse. For sure.
I don't know, man.
I just wonder, you look at something like that, or I look at something like that, and they're pouring a insane amount of money into something like that. Like H1Z1's pouring and then you look at like what Ninja's doing here on Twitch, and he's averaging more viewers than the Overwatch League, which got bought by Twitch for broadcast rights for 90 million. And Ninja beats that on a normal day. Like, I just think that's insane for comparison's sake, for sure. But it might be an unfair comparison, I guess. But
for those saying 10K isn't low, he's talking about like the top streams on the service.
I'm talking like the H1Z event, or
like one or two.
The ESL, the ESL CS:GO event is like 10,000, I think, and that's the one that hit. Like CS:GO is, I think, still holds the record on Twitch for like 1 million plus viewers, and now they're on Facebook at like 10,000. So it's kind of weird.
This is kind of cool. I don't know if any of you guys are big fans of Henry David Thoreau, who was an American poet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But Walden is getting a video game.
What? Did you just stumble upon this press release?
I just went on video game news. And I just looked at that. It was like the second thing down.
Was that on like VentureBeat or something?
Third thing down. It's like Thoreau's Walden gets new life as a video game. And I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me.
Jesus Christ.
But it's true. It's absolutely true.
Oh boy.
Oh, it's gonna be a survival game.
Yeah, it's gonna be a BR game.
Because we need more of those.
No, Walden is all about this very nice, peaceful pond. And it's it's a survival walking simulator game of some sort.
There you go. You're gonna stream that, right? Great. From start to finish. That's coming up.
Oh fuck yeah, dude!
Great.
I'll be like throwing out like quotes and shit.
I just got the funniest like imagine it's like Rust with a pond and you walk around it and you just eat and drink and like that's all you do. You just survive. It's a survival game around a pond.
Yeah.
Walden.
God damn it.
Yeah, he lived for 2 years and 2 months by Walden Pond in Massachusetts, and then he just like, wrote some poetry about it, that shit. And they're gonna make fucking video. I just love it. I love it. I love video games. It's bleeding into everything. It's great.
Yeah, I don't even know.
Press F to breathe.
I don't know how that happens. I don't know how that happens. What a weird thing.
Wow. Press E to sigh longingly.
Yeah.
Press L to introspect.
Jesus Christ. What a weird thing. What a weird thing.
Sorry, I had to mention. I thought that was kind of funny.
No, but I'm glad. I'm glad. We're video games is a large sphere, and we like to cover all that. So just we're getting the people informed. We're letting them know. We're letting them know. That's all the news I can find. At least big news. I'm sure there's a bunch of smaller stuff. But things I'm excited now because leaks are starting to happen for E3 every week as we get closer. I just hope that we still have some new surprises by the time E3 comes around.
God damn, that's less than a month away too. That's awesome.
It is. It's sneaking up. Yeah. 30 days from now? Maybe less.
It starts on the 12th, I think, right?
Starts on hold on one second. I have the dates right here. It starts on the 9th is when it begins. With EA. And then...
Man, look at that lineup. That's a great lineup.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll probably add a couple more people to that. We got to get Tally in for the sports games. That's just a given. Probably get Shannon.
You can take my spot for that one.
Yeah. Well, you got Battlefield. You got to at least see that. It'll be somewhat interesting. That's true. But yeah, that'll be fun. We got about 30 minutes till we take a break. Cole, you want to wrap up? Well, we're not completely done. I've finished Pillars of Eternity 2. You haven't finished yet. I think you're starting to maybe go down the main story path pretty soon.
I am. Well, I guess it's a little spoiler, so I'm not gonna say it. I am on my way to the culmination of the third act.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. After Fire and Water.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
I see. Yeah, my opinion has not changed at all since last week. Still the same thing. I put 50 hours into it, which, if you don't know anything about me, that's a long time for me to stick to a game that's not Path of Exile. So for me to put 50 hours into this was super fun and super odd as well. I did treat it, the entire time I was playing it, I was just treating it like a long D&D campaign. Or not, I guess a short D&D campaign, really. And I also finished the game at level 16. I was not max level. I was talking about this yesterday on Drop Frames. One of the final fights, you can just completely ignore mechanics. Just completely ignore what's going on in the fight and just get through it really easily. And so I was happy with that because I didn't want to have to go grind anymore I didn't want to have to go do side quests to level up some more. But it was good. It was good stuff. And then the loot was good too. Did you ever find all the soulbound items? Ko, how many sold?
I only have like 4 or 5, if even. I still have a lot of the world left to explore though. Working through that, and there's from what I've heard, there's ways to miss some of the items, including the uniques. And some of them are quest rewards or things you get by doing like super cruel or mean things. They wanted to kind of make that side of the game meaningful for people that wanted to go that route. So I think there's some stuff you can only get if you're like a dick or really cruel or doing things that are, not good.
I got 2. I found a dagger and a gun, or like an arbalist. I think it's the same one you found.
I've got like a mace, a gun, a rifle, the arquebus, the plant one.
Yes, that's one I had. Yeah.
And then I have like a dagger, and I had a unique sword. Did you ever find the talking sword, by the way?
No, everyone in chat kept talking about that. I never found it. Is it pretty good?
That's a really, really fun part of the game.
Okay.
It's kind of crazy you didn't find it because I think you cleared out the area. It's under the city. It's under Nekataka.
In the gullet?
Wait a second. Did you fight a giant creature under Nekataka?
I don't think so.
Oh man, there's something really big down there. That's quick question. Are you going to do any of the side content or are you done?
Maybe off stream. Yeah.
Okay.
That
case,
game
I'm going
was,
to stop there.
To speak into like the streaming side of that game was really odd to stream because it was and we were talking about this on Skype. It was unbelievably small numbers for stream. Like anyone that streamed it had their normal viewership cut into like a third. But for me, it was one of the only games in the past like 3 months where I had positive followers on those streams. So like I was getting like 800 to like 1400 views on it in positive followers. So I was like, I guess I'm okay with this. I guess we're just going to continue streaming it for an entire week. It was real weird for sure.
This is one of those games that I think a lot of streamers, including myself, play for us. You know, like we know it's not good. The thing with a game like this, and this is something that all streamers have to consider, is when you start a game that's this length, every hour you stream it more is further away from people being able to jump in and watch.
Yep.
So, and when you're on like hour 40 or 50 of a playthrough this song, there are going to be people that drop in, watch for 5 minutes and just go, I have no idea what's going on. This might be entertaining, but I'm not entertained because I'm so lost. So it can be kind of tough. And, you know, that's why these games tend to kind of like explode on release for a few days. People wanting to check it out to see if they want to buy it. And then once they've decided if they're going to buy it or not, at that point, they don't want to see any more, especially if they are going to buy it, because then it's spoilers.
Yep.
So it was a very dramatic drop from the start of this game to the rest of it. But even then, man, like there's a core Twitch community that really likes CRPGs.
There is,
be it PoE or old school games. I mean, there's a market for people, especially games that people have already played. So like hell, my PoE 1 run at times rivaled my PoE 2 run for viewership.
Right. Yeah. Because everyone already played it and they were interested in watching it play. Yeah.
Exactly. Because they already knew what to expect and everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, but it's so good.
It's a really good game. Yeah. I did not anticipate to be that hooked into it as I was. And I still never saw like, I never had a druid in my party. I never played with a druid. I never played with a chanter. I never played with a barbarian. Like I still haven't seen, I don't know, at least 3 classes that I can think of in that game for sure. So there's still a lot.
And then the synergies from those classes and multi-classing.
Right, exactly. Yeah, there's still a lot that I could go back and see. I've done a couple of side quests after finishing it and gone back and kind of just looked at stuff because I just wanted to see what else was in the game in terms of like the hardest mob I fought was in that place that we were talking about in the bottom right. I don't know if you've gone down there yet.
I started to go there.
Yeah, that was like the hardest encounter besides the one at the end. I told this story yesterday on Court of Swords. So Zeke, I'm apologizing to you and to everyone else that watched Court of Swords yesterday, but I almost quit the game at the very last fight because I thought it was bugged. I was doing the fight and like I had to reload like 4 or 5 times, and in the first couple of attempts, I wouldn't have any wounds on the person, but they would just die. Like they would just disappear from the 4. There would be 4 people instead of 5 in the bottom left. And I was like, is this a bug? Like, or does he have a move that's like an unblockable that just one shots? Like I couldn't figure it out. I had no idea what the fuck was happening. And earlier in that game, I was like complaining on, I was like, God, whoever fucking, this is so buggy. I'm not going to finish the game. I was getting really upset. And someone in chat was like, hey, what pet do you have equipped? And I go, what? And he goes, yeah, what pet do you have equipped? I go, I don't know, some troll. And he's like, read the text. So I go back and read the text. And it's a troll that has +1 resolve on it. But in the text, it says, equipping this troll will kill any party member that gets downed immediately. And so I had this fucking thing equipped that would just ruin the game for me. Because it would kill my party members in the bottom fight. So I guess kudos to the devs for that fucking shenanigan bullshit. I don't even remember where I found it, but it was just a little troll that was walking around. And resolve is a really good stat. But yeah, I was pretty pissed. And then I found that I was like, I'm not that pissed.
Man, that's one thing about this game. Like, there are so many little tidbits hidden in the items, the description of items, and especially unique items. Like, there's sometimes you'll see something like, you'll get this awesome weapon, it'll be like +5 to might for 30 seconds or something. And you're like, man, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Then you read in the description, it's like, after successfully applying affliction on a Tuesday while the night of the moon shines on the right side of your face, you'll get +5 might for 30 seconds.
Yep.
Wait, what? And there's so many of those little things down there where there's all these little conditionals, but there's also some really good stuff. And sometimes there is stuff that's not in the stats that will be in the description that will actually work.
Yep.
And that stuff's crazy. Like, you have to read every single unique item, like the description and everything. And then the enchants on top of that, like, is the same effect. It's
my party got pretty crazy when I started enchanting all of the gear that I had on everyone. It like my tank was the tank and paladin would basically just duo fights. Like, I didn't care if the other 3 people died as long as the tank and paladin, because they both had like an HP regen going, and then if they killed something, they got like a huge amount of bonuses from all these enchants. And it made it gave a lot of customization. Like, my party was nowhere near what your party was in terms of fights, and apparently we handled the game completely differently in terms of how those fights went, according to my chat. So it was cool for sure. Yeah, did you ever find that sword that just makes you throw up?
Yeah, the puking dagger.
Yeah. Did you fight those people to get it, or did you talk your way through it?
I talked my way through it.
Okay. There's a couple things where I kind of wish I fought my way through it, but I don't want to say the main story thing in the fireplace. I talked my way through all of that.
Yeah. Same, actually. Yeah. Including like the big fight there.
Yeah, I didn't do that fight. I talked my way through it. Yeah.
What's cool though is they made there was some complaints in PoE 1 where talking your way through things would give you significantly less than if you were to fight them. Particularly, there were a lot of people frustrated because a lot of times talking your way through things would give you like 800 experience, or you could kill 12 mobs at 250 XP a pop, and the numbers just didn't add up. So in the second one, they made a much more concerted effort to make it so when you talk your way through things, not only do you get comparable rewards, but sometimes you get far more rewards. So they balanced it out a lot better in the second one. So you don't, like, there was a lot of times when we ran across that stuff where I'd test it. I would be like, okay, let's talk our way through this. All right, reload, let's kill him. And many times we just would not get things if we were to just fight everything. We would just fight everything and loot a couple items. But if we talk our way through it, they're like, hey, here's this really good thing you wouldn't have gotten or looted normally.
Yeah.
So
cool. Someone in chat was also asking about the cipher. Because I feel like the cipher kind of broke the game for me.
Soulblade?
No, it was I didn't multi-class any of my characters. They were all single class. But yeah, as soon as I got like even the level 1 charm, like the level 5 charm was pretty broken. But if I saw anything that had a low like intellect defense or whatever, it just got, even the final fight, I was just charming shit. And then if you charm enough stuff, it defaults to where it's at. And then when it comes uncharmed, they don't re-aggro. And so I could just kind of like cheese a lot of shit. And it broke the game in many cases.
Well, you say cheesing, but CC is a huge part of the game.
Sure.
And ciphers are one of the best CC classes. So you were making it easier because that's exactly what that's intended to do.
Yeah.
So you were actually just playing the class.
I just wish the mobs would re-aggro. Because like they would reset to their default position. And then I didn't even have to fight them. It made a lot of fights kind of easy.
That was kind of buggy.
Yeah.
That wasn't supposed to happen.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't really have anything else. I think someone said there's already free DLC, or there is free DLC coming like next week or something.
Yep. There's a new character and a bunch of like alcohol they're adding to the game or something. I don't know. It's a little free DLC thing they're popping in. It's probably going to be a sidekick, not a companion. That's their new system. But,
I ended up dropping Seraphim and using Yidwin, who was a sidekick and not a main story character or whatever. But yeah, apart from that, I used Eder. My wizard is my main character. Yidwin, Shodi, and Pellegrina, the paladin.
Nice.
Yeah. She was.
I bounced between everyone because I wanted to hear like their quips, and I did everyone's side quests and like all their personal quests and stuff. So that was one cool thing about doing that is you get to know all the classes, and there's still a few that I missed.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I pretty much kept Adair and Shodi in the party, and then the last 2 slots I just like everyone moved through at some point. Yeah.
When I would get a new person, I'd put them in the party and then just strip all the items off and then never see them again because they all had like some unique items on them. And I would use those maybe on some other characters. But and then of course the worst character was Aloth. He was just he just sucks in combat. He would just always get one shot, and so I never used him after like 4 or 5 fights. He was awful. He was the only character I actually multi-classed into a rogue wizard. He was the only one I multied. I think you kept him as a straight wizard. Yeah, you kept him as a straight wizard, right?
Straight wizard, yeah. And he was easily one of the more powerful people in my party. But again, it's mostly because he's a straight wizard non-subclass.
Yeah. My wizard was it was just a journalist wizard. He had access to she had access to all the spells and stuff. It was cool. Well, cool. Any other thoughts on this? I don't want to talk about the spoiler too much.
There's more stuff to talk about, but let's wait until I've finished it.
Okay.
There's also a lot of not so great things to talk about involving it, but we can save that for later too.
Cool. Sounds good. Zeke, how's that Path of Exile? How's that Spire run going? Is it going well?
Path of X-Files?
Yeah, the Path of X-Files. How's it going?
It's awesome. I mean, I finished it. It's great. I had to. Okay. The thing about this game is
about setting it up, because I feel like that was, I don't want to say more interesting, but maybe more interesting to me. Just like you had to go through some shit to set this game up, didn't you?
There is some very weird, something very strange happens whenever I play a game like this from the mid to late 90s, and I set up the game. It's a draw. Like, people want to watch the setup,
the troubleshooting
of the game. It's so strange that they want to see like trying to run it XP compatibility mode and all this kind of shit. The thing with this game is it wasn't that difficult to set up this one in particular, because I tried to set it up through like a virtual machine and play it off of a USB thumb drive, and the thumb drive wasn't fast enough to handle it. So some of the videos would stutter, and some of the it would artifact like while you're playing it. And so I was like, what would happen if I just put disc 1 into the disk drive?
Yeah.
And sure enough, I can just install it. I can install it on Windows 10. I have to put every single disc in. I had to put all 7 discs in. But I was able to install the entire game on my Windows 10 PC. But it did take a while. So during the installation, it was Mother's Day. So I called my mom, and I want to say for like an hour, we just did an AMA with my mom. And it got real weird. Because I was just asking her questions from the chat, and my chat is not very, they don't have a lot of shame.
Sure.
Or anything like that. Or, they're not scared to ask really weird questions. So that was fun. But it took about an hour to install all 7 discs. And also in the middle of the installation, like I think I got to disc 4, and I didn't realize that the disc drive that I popped it in, but the disc drive had popped out just automatic, just because I didn't push it in all the way or whatever.
Yeah. And
it said, I was like, we can't read the disc. I was like, retry. And then I didn't even read what it said, and I hit no or whatever, and it stopped the installation. So I had to go back to the beginning again. So that sucked. Yeah. But once I get it all installed, that's the technical shit. That's beside the point.
The setup process.
Once I got it all installed, it was totally worth it to run it just straight off my hard drive and not off the USB, because the videos are all great. The story is fucking fantastic. It's X-Files. It's an X-Files type story. They have cameos from your favorite people, like Mr. X, the Smoking Man, the Lone Gunman, like Skinner, like everybody's in, of course, Fox and Dana, Scully and Mulder. But yeah, they have cool cameos and shit like that. And I mean, I don't think I can spoil a 20-year-old game, but whatever.
No, probably not. Are there aliens in it?
Just go ahead, dude. Just do it.
Do you find
Are
the
there
truth?
aliens in it? Are there aliens in it? Yeah, no. Okay. Yeah, sort of. Well, it's the thing. It's like an alien
hybrid
virus thing that infects people, and it makes this like inky, oily thing like appear in the whites of their eyes, like
the show. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Exactly. And so what you have to do is you have to you figure that out after you get like the first half of the game. Total red herring. It's a total there's like a smuggling ring with drugs and stuff like that. It's like, nope, that had nothing to do with anything. What the real story is this whole alien blah blah blah. And man, some parts of it are so much fun, and some parts of it aged so badly. And when I say that, I mean, I was saying this on Course Story today, but take in D&D terms, take 100-foot by 100-foot.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Like area. So you got it's like a 10 by 10 area, right? So you're in this warehouse, it's 10 by 10. And every single step you take is a new still picture, like a still photograph. It's not like animated. So every photograph is just probably taking a different time of day, maybe different lighting situations and shit like that. Sometimes it is really, really, really bad and hard to figure out like where you're going and where you are, because the pictures are still fucking camera like pictures. And they're not taken at the proper angles, or the lighting is fucked up. So it feels like once you take a step forward, you're in a completely different place because it looks different.
Huh.
So that was getting around was a little bit difficult, but the FMV shit, great all the way through. This guy, the crime lab guy,
is that supposed
John,
to be you, by the way, right there talking?
That's me. Yeah,
okay.
You play that guy. You are Craig Wilmore.
Okay.
Special agent for the FBI, and you're talking to John. I can't remember his name, but he's the crime lab guy, and he does these terrible impressions. He does like 3 impressions. He does a Morgan Freeman, he does a Sean Connery, and he does he does a second Sean Connery that's supposed to be Jean-Luc Picard.
God.
But he goes,
I could kind of see that.
All right, make it show. And I was like, oh, fucking God. It's just terrible. But there's like that sense of humor in there that is a very, very point and click. Like if you're playing point and click game, you know that sometimes they put in like little things to make the player laugh and Easter eggs that don't really pertain to anything or make sense.
Yeah.
Per se. But there's some of that stuff in there. But when you meet Dana Scully and Fox Mulder, when you actually meet them in the game, it's so awesome because they're them. They're them.
Yeah.
Like the lines that they give them are very much their own lines. And they act them just the way they do in the series. Like everybody else, it does a pretty good job. But you know, when you see them, you're like, oh, Fox is making sarcastic jokes. He's like, you find him and he's tied up in this attic, and he's all tied up like he's like a hostage. And you come up to him, you're like, oh man, are you all right? He's like, yeah, my foot's asleep, like that kind of thing. Yeah,
it never occurred to me that Mulder had a first name, and it's Fox.
Yeah.
I've never heard anyone refer to him as Fox before. Even himself, or even Scully. I just thought it was Mulder.
He feels like a friend to me, like Dana and Fox. They're like my buddies.
Yeah. To me, he's Hank Moody.
But I will say,
yesterday.
the shittiest thing about this game is that it's old school. So there's bad endings built into the game. And if you don't save before you do a certain thing, that's what you get unless you want to play through it one more time. So I got through the entire fucking game.
Oh.
The entire game. I did one thing wrong. And I saved. They give you 3 save slots. And by the time I got to the very end, I had saved over that slot.
Ouch.
Yeah. So I got the bad ending over and over again. I had to go back through the game, speed run it to get all the way back to this one part where you do not kill this guy. I killed him. I shot him. Yeah. But in the game, you can shoot him, or they give you a very conveniently placed cattle prod that's like right to the left. Like, he takes up like 90% of the screen. He's coming at you. He's going to do some bad shit. And there's this little, like, right here in the side of your vision, there's like this little handle of a cattle prod. So you're like, fuck, this guy's going to come get me. Let's shoot him. Bam, bam, bam. And it lets you shoot him. It lets you fucking kill the guy and doesn't even tell you. Nice. It doesn't say like, well, you kill the guy. You're going to need him later, but and you're like, it doesn't say nothing. So I get to the end. I had to go through the entire and it's at the end of the game. So I had to go through the entire fucking game again, grab the cattle prod, and instead zap him with it. So don't kill him, just incapacitate him, kind of.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
There you go.
So,
little pro tip.
But it's super fun if you get the chance. I don't know. I don't know how you would get the chance. So you have to buy the
box.
Maybe buy the box, or just I don't know. I don't know if they have it on GOG.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if they have it on GOG or not.
Is this on GOG?
Nice spoilers. Anybody who's bitching about a 20-year-old game, spoilers, you go fuck yourselves. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, it's true.
I don't give a fuck about that.
Yeah.
If you were gonna play it, you had 20 years to do it, and you didn't do it. So
it's true. It's true. No, they just started watching X-Files when they restarted the show like a year ago. They didn't even know this game existed, Zeke. So, you know.
But even so, the story is not in and of itself the funnest part. It's the scenes that are the fun part, and you can't spoil. Like, I have to go do them verbatim to spoil those, and you miss the acting, and the acting is the best part. Yeah, it's great.
I'm just curious in the realm of FMV games, if an FMV game showed up at like an E3 conference or like something big and it was new, would you freak the fuck out? Would you just lose your shit?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Dude, oh my god. I'd have to call my doctor because my boner would last for more than 4 hours.
Sure, yeah, as you do, as advised. Yeah.
But no, if they did an FMV game like they used to, because they used to do these all the time, man.
I know they were all over the place.
They used to do FMV spin-offs of series all the time, and they just stopped doing it because I'm sure the actors aren't willing to do that, and they don't have the money to pay them to do that.
Yeah.
Like the Star Trek Borg game that I'm going to be playing, like even that only has John Delancey, who's Q. That's the only like famous person from the show they have in it.
Would it surprise you to know that I've actually watched a playthrough of that entire game, Zeke, and I can't wait to watch
Star Trek Borg?
Yeah. And I can't wait to watch you play it because the like fail states in that game are absolutely hilarious, and they're very, very common. I'm sure. In the sense of like you just choose the wrong thing and you like end the universe or something like that, because Q's all the way through it. So it's I'm actually excited. When are you going to be playing that next? Is that on the list?
Yeah, I'm going to be playing it after the show today.
Okay, I might.
Yeah,
I might.
But you can't.
I might just pop that up during Far Verona on my phone. Just have that over to the little side. Yeah, and just check that out. That'd be good.
Right on.
Well, cool. You also did Indie Sunday, but I think we need to do a break. Or not Indie Sunday. You did Indie Week. Yeah.
Yeah.
How about during the break? I'm gonna limit you. Pick how many games did you play first off? Do you know off the top of your head? Like, was it like 100?
No, God, no, not 100.
You said you had 30 in 3 days last week, so I was only
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 31-ish.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pick the 6 best games. Let's get, what is that? Let's get 20%, the cream of the crop, 20% of those games.
I can't do that.
Rank them.
I have no idea.
Give me a 100% scale on each of those games, and then rank them in top 30. Then
yeah, let me do that. Let me just do that in a couple minutes.
We got about 3 minutes, so go ahead and get started. We'll take a break.
Well, why don't you just pull up one of the days, and we'll do like 4 games, and then call it good.
Because I want to know the best ones, Zeke. That's what I want to know. That's what the audience.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We do that like every week until we get them all.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that works.
Yeah,
that's good. That works.
Just spread it out over a couple of days.
I'm into that.
A couple of drop frames.
I'm into that.
But some of them won't take long to explain. Like,
okay,
there's a lot of shit.
Okay,
like out of 31 games, I would say maybe a dozen were anywhere near good.
That's still
and 5 of those were actually games I would recommend and play again and again.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Well, we'll do that. We got State of Decay 2, where me and Co had wildly different experiences with that game. So I'm interested.
Oh, I can't wait to hear about that.
I'm interested to see how that goes. And then we got Zeke stuff. I still got to talk about For Honor, because I said last week that I would talk about that when I played it for a sponsored stream. For a second go, they decided, you know what, this guy really liked the
fuck would they? They didn't even contact me, and I liked the game.
We'll have a conversation when we come back. More drop frames right after this. We'll see you guys in just a bit.